So here in the book of Revelations, you deal with John, John the Revelator, coming from the cave, coming from Earth. John is in the in the Earth, third, fourth dimension, space and time. He's coming from Earth. He sees a doorway open in heaven where he comes to see the throne. So you're looking at the surface of the third and fourth dimension of space and time, where he then comes into a portal where he's now seeing the throne of God, the heavenly throne, where he sees the four cherubim surrounded by 24 points here, with the central throne in the middle, which would be in theory the so you're breaking down the fundamental nature of reality, the quantum nature of reality, through the observed third and fourth space and time, the observed world of the universe. He's breaching that barrier, where you go into the four fundamental forces. The strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, electromagnetism, and gravitational forces. Those circling commanding the throne, the Word of God. So those push out the nature of space and time. The world of space and time are actually being pushed out by the fundamental forces at the central throne. But then the revelation goes even further when Jesus comes to the throne. When man, from earth, Jesus comes from heaven to earth. As man, he then breaches heaven. So Jesus goes to the throne, forming the seven horns and seven eyes of the Lamb. So again, here you see, I've drawn in sort of the shape of a Star of David, 7 points, 7 eyes, just for simplicity, that are at even the further inner surface of the point of the fifth dimensional surface. I would think. So God is in a state of timelessness. It says he's which I think would be completely outside of space time at the third and fourth dimension. So you're dealing with the fifth dimension up through to the 11th dimension. So 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. So here, of course, in this book, The Elegant Universe, deals with you have the Calabi-Yau manifold depicted here, which is a 6-dimensional shape. You can see the 7 horns and 7 eyes of the Lamb. Horns and eyes I think of as dimensions. So you have a farther point and an internal point. So that would be a dimension, point, and the eye, of course, absorbs information. So you have, this would be a dimension. 7 horns, 7 eyes, 7 additional I think of 7 additional dimensions, in addition to the third and fourth dimension. So John the man is coming through those portals, those layers, through the four fundamental forces, which are pushing out from the Word of God. The Word of God is commanding these forces. And then finally the revelation of the Lamb, the tearing open of the fabric of space, where the Lamb is slain. So you have the Lamb that was slain. So you're puncturing even that deepest well depth, and then it takes you to the eternal wellspring of life. Jesus then walks John the Revelator into the full glory of God, which is even more subtle than the throne itself, which would be the throne is of course the breaking of the through the fourth dimension. So you have this subtle, I've kind of just drawn these weird warps and curves, but it this more subtle internal energy would be the hyper. At this point, the 11th dimensional hyperspace or reality, which goes above and beyond all the lower